नमस्कारम न्यान दिव्यांशी मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ करंट अफेयर्स लेखे स्वागतम। आप सभी सोच रहे होंगे कि why am I speaking in Malayalam because the guest today who has joined for an interview session is from Kerala. We have with us Gokul Krishna. He has cleared SBI PO 2022 and IBPS PO 2022 examination. और हमने सोचा कि उनका स्वागत उन्हीं के अंदाज में करते हैं. We just thought to welcome him in his own dialect, in his own language. So, welcome Gokul, and very glad to have you. I hope that we are going to have a wonderful interaction and a very interactive interaction about your journey and about your preparation time. So, welcome and very glad to have you today.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
So, Gokul, you've cleared your examination, and I'm sure it's a tremendous feeling. It's an overwhelming feeling, but I would like to know from you that how do you feel right now? Because, when we speak about a dream, I think that is the biggest motivation and something that gives you energy to live your day, drive you throughout your day. So now you've already achieved what you've dreamt for. How do you feel right now about it?
I'm just so happy, ma'am, because I could not believe it when I cleared it. It was just another random day looking at another failed attempt. And just when I saw my name on the PDF, it was really overwhelming.
So, Gokul, you said that you just thought that it was not just a random failed attempt. So, how many attempts you have given and you failed, and after once you have actually achieved what you wanted to? What was the journey about? How many attempts you have given, and the moment from not just a random failed attempt to a successful attempt, how it has been for you?
Ma'am, I actually began my preparation after my graduation in 2017 in mechanical engineering. And after that, I had been preparing for UPSC Civil Services exam. But then I gave some four attempts, and it was only after that I switched on to banking and other regulatory exams. And in the process, I had been writing throughout the four attempts as well. I had been preparing for banking exams and writing for them. I wrote SBI, IBPS exams all through the way. However, it was after 2021 that I fully switched on to the banking exams. And then I wrote a couple of exams like RBI, NABARD, SEBI, and then various other purely banking exams like IBPS. And now it was the IBPS this attempt that I had cleared all the stages.
Gokul, you were a mechanical engineer. How did you have this thought of writing a banking examination? Because these two are totally different profession, and you have come from different backgrounds. So how did you manage to get into examination like banking, being a mechanical engineer? I know we say that engineers can do anything, but I just want to understand the thought process that you were having or you were undergoing when you thought of taking this bold decision of actually changing your career.
Okay. When I joined engineering, I did not have any other idea like I wanted to go for bank exams. My sole idea was to become a mechanical engineer by profession as well. But then as I went through the course, I understood that the jobs available for mechanical engineers are very much limited. Particularly in India, it is more of a service economy. So even if I try for a mechanical engineering job, the opportunities that I get would be very much limited, like in the sort of writing gate exams and qualifying with a very high rank, which only very few people would get. So I thought it would be a much better and easier option to switch to banking exams because it offers a very high vacancy and mostly it's also more comfortable to study those exams. So that was why I thought that would be a better option for me.
So this was about that how did you actually had a paradigm shift from engineering to banking, just thinking of getting more greater opportunities. Um, how did you start the preparation? Because coming from a different field and then approaching a different field, I think it's a little tough journey. How did you prepare yourself?
The first thing I did was go through the previous year question papers of all the exams. Like for SBA, IBPS exams, they had a common pattern of asking quantitative and reasoning questions from a particular area. So what I did first was understanding those areas which had the most frequent method of asking. For instance, if they take the case of quant, they have a very high interest in asking the quadratic equations and number series questions. So I gave a higher focus on to clearing those kind of questions first. And rather than studying the previous year questions directly from the net, what I did was I just attempted all the exams without even giving any sort of preparation. So writing those exams gave me a much better insight into what actually the exam asks for. So even without having any preparation, it gave me some sort of an insight onto what they are demanding. So it was after this that I got a better understanding, and then my focus was targeted to those specific areas which they had been asking for. And that was the manner in which, ma'am, I went through those areas.
Gokul, you've been preparing for this examination from 2017. A lot of times it happens that we just stop the preparation because it's not just, it's not going as per what we thought. Was this easy, these 5 years for you during the preparation? Because, I mean, preparing for the examination continuously for 5 years, it's definitely not very easy.
Oh, yes, ma'am. It's not very easy because we see that we are unemployed and our friends who have been all the same pass out, they have been employed in various other organizations and doing well in their life while we are not doing the same as them. So it would be very much difficult. But however, we have this feeling that one day it would come to us, and just having that kind of an urge to somehow clear it somehow push me into doing it. So that is what.
I mean, it's very important and it's a very sensitive thing also that people expect, surrounding expect you to be employed soon after you are graduated and then taking 5 years and giving actually your heart, mind, and soul to your preparation. But nevertheless, better late than never. You are successful today, and people would be giving your example that if you give your heart, mind, and soul to your dreams, you'll definitely be able to make it. So, Gokul, very proud of you for that fact, for sustaining yourself in the journey, which is definitely not easy. Gokul, how Study IQ Gaurav sir has been part of this entire process, entire journey.
And the Gaurav Sir's channel has been very much a part of my journey throughout all these years. Particularly when I started the banking regulatory exams in 2019, for RBI, many of them for RBI Grade B exam, many had been recommending that the Study IQ YouTube channel current affairs was very good. So that was the first time I heard about the channel, and there was some 300 MCQ, some topic which was there in YouTube videos. So that was the first time I went through these videos and got to know about the Gaurav Sir's current affairs videos. But since then, I just went through some videos and did not subscribe to anything. But after a point when I completely switched on to the banking exams in 2021, later part of 2021, the first thing I did was, after qualifying the IBPS prelims, the first thing I did was purchase the current affairs course of Gaurav Garg sir. So everyone had been recommending that was the best thing available in the market at an economical price for the current affairs portion. So there was this 300 current affairs PDF and the videos. So for IBPS, what I did was I first had a glance through the videos and made some flashcards of the PDF that was available for those 300 questions, and then revised it again and again. That was the only source that I had referred for current affairs for all the exams. So it was a part and parcel of my current affairs preparation.
Gokul, you've given not just once, but 5 attempts, 5 years you have given to the journey, and many examination you've written. But what are the important things that you think should be focused upon? Because these are actually important from examination point of view, and you have actually changed in the course of time for those things to actually get successful.
And for example, for each exam has its own demand. For example, if you take the case of UPSC Civil Services, for it, the current affairs portion that it demands is a very peripheral point of view. However, for banking exams, what they demand is very a core factual information that we have to reproduce in the exam hall. So for that, we have to have a repeated number of attempts at revising the things and making flashcards so that we could have a thorough information, a pictorial memory of the data. And that was one thing. And the other thing is that we have to understand the demand of each type of questions that are asked. Even in case of quant reasoning, each banking exam itself, banking regulatory exam itself has a different aspect of asking it. For example, if SEBI is asking the quantum tracing on a very basic level, SBI, IBPS, and RBI grade B, they ask these at a much higher level. So we have to understand from what area we are covering these and the type of exam that we are attempting for. So having a targeted approach for the exam and the particular type of area is what is we need, and that is what was the change that I adopted that led me to this clearing the exam.
Gokul, how was your interview experience? I'm sure they must have also asked ki 5 years ka gap has been. I just want to bring it because there are many aspirants who clear their mains, but when they go for an interview, I think this is the question which is the something, the bone stuck in a neck and how just to get out. So, how was your interview? What were the questions put up to you? I would like to know about it.
Okay, ma'am. So this was a question that I faced in every interview that I have gone for NABARD, IBPS, and SBI. The same question was that. So what were you doing for the last 5 years, and how did you manage it, or what was the learning that you got from the last 5 years? But they were all very much welcome to the fact that I was preparing for the exam. So I had this fear that whether they would some kind of be looking down upon it. But however, they were welcoming it and just wanting to know how I dealt with it and what was the learning that I had from these couple of years that I had lost. So it was nothing to fear about. It was just that we have to be more welcoming to it and that we need to have a good answer to present for them. So that is what they are looking for. Nothing. None of the interviews did they kind of intimidate me into getting into a particular point of view or being submissive about it. They were just trying to open up and just be more welcoming to the fact. There's nothing to hear about me now.
So, what did you answer in your SBI PO when this question was put up to you?
For SBI, what they asked was how did you what was the learning that you had from these 5 years? So what I said was that I learned how to be perseverant towards one's aim, even because I had this notion that it would be easy to do things. And then, however, I got to a better understanding that we could be much more patient enough to do the things in a much organized manner and be perseverant enough for it. So after asking, it led to some follow-up questions. However, they were all kind of more welcoming it. So it's not that much of an issue, man. Even some of my friends who had the same kind of experience, like having some gap years, also had the same viewpoint that none of it was kind of intimidating. They were all welcoming it.
Gokul, we are towards the end of the session. You would like to give some special thought of words to everybody who is preparing for this examination?
Yes, ma'am. One thing is that just to understand the demand of the exam, if you are targeting for a specific exam, just go through all the previous year questions and all. Even if you are not attempting for this year, just give the exam anyway. You will get to know better understanding what the exam is demanding for. For instance, in a particular area, they would have a specific kind of interest in quant or reasoning, so or current affairs itself. So we need to understand what each of the demands that the question paper has, and go through all the previous year question papers and the YouTube videos for the understanding the topics. And for current affairs, have a specific source that you can revise to again and again. So that would be all that you need. There's nothing much kind of a rocket science to cracking banking exams. That's all I have to say, man.
Thanks, Gokul Krishna, for joining us in this interview session. We are very glad to have you with your experiences. We wish you good health, good luck. Thank you.